Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Faked This Death Part 3. And I may sound a bit more tired than usual than the past few videos, or, well, the past few parts, as this is all recorded in one day. It's 2:39 AM, and I want to just finish the series, record it all in one day, so I can have 3 videos, as I think I'm going to drop a series soon. And anyways, we get straight into it. Last time I left off with Naruto actually going on the 2.5 year training, and during this 2 years and training, Naruto would actually be learning Sage Mode. He would actually learn the Rasen Shuriken, and since Jiraiya would actually learn it with him, also Sage Mode, Jiraiya would master it with Naruto as well, and Naruto would also go on to he would actually go on to he actually learns a bit more about the tail beasts as he meets the Nantos, and Naruto won't be training with Jiraiya the whole 2.5 years. Last 6 months, Naruto would go off on his own, actually do his own thing, and just gain experience by doing commissions again. Anyway, now, of course, Naruto would then actually, within the 2 years, he would learn the Rasen Shuriken, also develop a few new Rasengans like the Vanishing Rasengan and the Vanishing Rasen Shuriken, which takes a lot of chakra. Also, since he has he has the copy of the Scroll of Ceilings, Naruto actually goes on to learn other jutsus. Not only did he already learn the Majestic Destroyer Flame, Naruto now has all 5 chakra natures, and he also learns the Flying Rajin. He's not a master over it, but he can use it a few times here and there, and he uses it a few times. Of course, he does go to the Sand Village and does meet with the new Kazekage, also being Gaara, and they're really good friends here. And Naruto actually learns Fuin Jutsu, which is literally Sealing Jutsu, and he actually helps Gaara, and his actual test the test that Jiraiya gave him was to see how good he is with the healing jutsu. Sealing jutsu is to see if Naruto can actually create a stronger seal for Gaara's for Gaara, as his one's quite weak. Anyways, Naruto was kind of hesitant as he didn't want to seal a tail beast even further, but this was a test and is better for him. In case he gets captured, he has more time to actually be rescued, as if the seal is stronger, the longer the time it takes to seal away the tail beast. Anyways, of course, Naruto actually creates an 8 trigram seal without using the Reaper Death Seal, but Minato used the Reaper Death Seal and an 8 trigram seal, so he used both of them. I am pretty sure. If not, I'm just going to use plot armor to cover up the mistake, pretty much. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto goes on to seal away this the One Tails even further, so it can no longer bother Gaara, so he doesn't go through sleepless nights, weeks of sleepless nights. And anyways, now Naruto in the last 6 months, he would actually go and travel the world and just spend time on his own, just enjoy the views and everything. Also he goes to meet a few new people. He actually used Naruto's connections with his other tail beasts, its other siblings, to actually go meet Jinchurikis. He meets the 7 tails Jinchuriki. No, sorry, not the 7 tails Jinchuriki, the 4 tail Jinchuriki, and also Fu, the 7 tail Jinchuriki, and the 5 tail Jinchuriki. He meets all 3 of them within the 6 months, and he spends 2 months with each. Shiroshi mostly trained Naruto in how to use, he actually trained Naruto, as Naruto actually asked for training underneath him, as he wanted Roshi to see him as worthy. And anyways, once he finished his 2-month training, Naruto actually made a lot of progress, especially in taijutsu and martial arts, pretty much. And anyways, of course, Son Goku, the Full Tails, actually gave a gift to Naruto. He actually unlocked his ability to use Lava Release. Remember, Naruto has Lava Release at the end of Naruto, and he's actually able to use it here. And anyways, now of course he meets well, Fu next, and with Fu he actually just spends time, just hangs out, as Fu never really had many friends. And Fu made a good friend. And anyway, once Naruto left, she was quite saddened, but she wished him luck, as they were pretty much best friends at this point. And anyways, now well, Fu's only friend pretty much. Anyway, now of course then he goes and meets the Five Toes Jinchuriki Han, who actually Naruto goes on missions with Han secretly, as Han and Naruto were like friends, well, pretty good friends in fact. Naruto was able to actually beat him in a fight without even using the Nanto's powers, as he cannot access them. And even with Han's perfect Jinchuriki powers and also Tobi's transformation, he was able to defeat Naruto, and he gained his respect. And then Five Toes saw that Naruto had good intentions, and in fact gave him a gift as well to unlock boiled release. Naruto was getting more overpowered by the day. Anyways, during these 2 months, Naruto's and Han's teamwork actually became quite good, and in fact, even with just a little bit of well, missions together, they became quite the deadly duo. Of course, the White Mask has returned, or the White Death has returned, but that was only for a little while, for missions here and there, and clearly it was actually a little bit better for the Leaf Village, as it seemed like there was an alliance between the stone and the leaf, and it created a little bit of that connection between the leaf and the stone, as Naruto actually did visit the stone village. And anyways, now of course the Tsuchikage was actually quite friendly with Naruto, although he knew that this was the Nanto's Jinchuriki, as Naruto did make it clear that he's the Nanto's Jinchuriki, and even although they tried to apprehend him at first to take this to take his tail beast, Han actually stopped them, and Naruto knew that Han would, and in fact he could have destroyed them on his own. At this point, he has the power to. Maybe he's not as strong as the Tsuchikage, but he would probably be able to escape the Tsuchikage, even his atomic style, whatever it is. And anyways, now, or particle style, sorry, not atomic style. I'm thinking of chemistry. Anyways, now, I'm quite tired, so I'm going to be covering a lot quite fast. Anyway, now Naruto does return to the Leaf Village. He meets up with Jiraiya at Mount Myoboku, which then they make the journey back to the Leaf Village, of course by reverse summoning Jutsu in first somewhere in the world, and make the journey back. Of course, Jiraiya has made a lot of research about the Akatsuki, especially because most of it is he's pretty much given up on Orochimaru, although he's still doing it here and there. He himself is actually doing the research about Orochimaru, whereas most of his spy network was onto the Akatsuki, whereas that is because he still wants to find Orochimaru first of all, and he's doing it for Naruto as well. And as Naruto wants to find Sasuke too, and return him to the Leaf Village, as he wants to become a Hokage, and if he wants to become a Hokage, he doesn't want anyone from the Leaf Village to go rogue for some stupid reason, like a grudge or for revenge. And he knows that this is not going to end well. He knows how strong the Akatsuki are, because during his when he was actually training with Jiraiya, they actually came back from Mount Myoboku to go on a mission together. And during this mission, this is something I haven't mentioned, and I'm going to mention now. During this mission, they actually bumped into Kisame and Itachi. They actually didn't spar. They had a little fight, whereas Naruto would take on Itachi, and of course Kisame would be taken on by Jiraiya. But this time Jiraiya had already mastered Sage Mode, so he was on a whole different league from Kisame, and he was pretty much taking care of him easily. Whereas Naruto received the gift here. He saw that Naruto was kind of friends with Sasuke, as Sasuke saw him as a brother, and Naruto did see Sasuke as kind of a brother too. He always was jealous of him, that everyone was kind to him and everything, and he received all the attention, but he also considered him as a brother, as he He was the only one who could actually understand Naruto's pain. Nothing. He had nothing remaining in the world, just like Naruto. Anyway, Itachi could see this in Naruto just by looking at him, and Naruto did confess to everything. He was jealous of Sasuke. However, he did think of him as like a brother of his own, as they went through pretty much the same pain, and they were going through the same exact experiences, just in a different perspective. And anyways, some people loved one, and well, most people loved one, whereas they hated the other one. Anyway, of course, now Naruto would receive the gift, and Itachi would entrust Naruto with it, and asks Naruto to always be friends with. Oh well, he actually thanks Naruto for being friends with, you know, Sasuke. And anyways, now he lets him out of the Genjutsu, and Naruto realized that Itachi easily put him in a Genjutsu and he wasn't even trying, and he tells Kisame that they have to go. This is a lost fight. They're too strong for us. And of course, Kisame was pretty pissed off, as Itachi was way stronger than Naruto. He knew it, but he just didn't want to try, and was hesitant, but he can understand because he actually knew about Itachi's illness. Anyways, now Naruto and Jiraiya, well, Naruto didn't want to underestimate the Akatsuki, and he knows how dangerous they are, and he realizes that even if he doesn't know how strong Sasuke really is, but he realizes that if he really wants to fight Itachi, he has to get extremely strong, as Itachi easily put him in the Itachi easily put him in a Genjutsu without him even realizing he was in one, of course, and pretty much it was kind of mad. It was an experience that he's never really experienced. It's something that he's never experienced, and he knows that Itachi is much stronger than him right now. Well, not at the end of the 2 years and a half. Maybe he's way stronger than Itachi. He doesn't know, as he's still training on his own to master both lava and steam and boil release. Anyway, boil release is literally like a small 8 gates boost, so really he could have just instantly destroyed Itachi, but we won't go too in depth with that. He knows that Sasuke would have to get immensely stronger than what he was initially to actually get near Itachi's power, and that is exactly what was happening. Orochimaru saw that Sasuke had a lot of potential. After seeing how strong Sasuke was after receiving the second state of the curse mark, he realized that Sasuke had more potential, and so he started pretty much abusing Sasuke's body and the amount of potential he had by actually just pumping him up with chemicals and Hashirama cells. Yes, he implanted Hashirama cells, so he wanted Sasuke's body to be used to wood release and how to use it, and once he takes over, he can just use wood release at his own will, like it was something that he always had, and this would make Sasuke very overpowered, but still it wouldn't be nowhere near of course the mastery that Hashirama had, or strong to even beat Naruto right now, as Naruto is quite the phenomenon. He has lava and boil release, which are very, very strong, and Naruto is actually trying to add the steam release, not steam release, lava release and boil release to his Rasen Shuriken, which at first was actually working, but once he actually tried containing it, he actually burnt his hand. Anywho, Naruto returns to the village and meets with Sakura, and Naruto and Sakura actually do. Well, sorry, he doesn't meet with Sakura as he's not part of Team 7. He meets with Inari, Haku, and Zabuza, of course, Inari's mother, and Tazuna. Of course, they're all really happy to meet each other again, as they're all a big family at this point, and Inari has gotten quite strong. In fact, he's so strong that Inari would be around Konohamaru's age, around Konohamaru's age, so he's in the same year as Konohamaru, but he's quite strong. he's actually so strong that Konohamaru actually asked to get trained by the third Hokage who's in retirement, and the third Hokage has nothing better to do, to be honest, and so he's quite happy to train his own grandson. And of course he's caught up with Inari quite fast, as this is the third Hokage training him. And anyways, now of course both of them are very strong, and they're on the same level. Just that Naruto actually now taught both of them the Rasengan at the same time. Once he returned, he actually gave them the first 3 steps to do it, and then they would have to figure out on their own, just like he did. Just like he figured it out without the steps, but he just gave them the steps, as he knows there's 3 steps. Because Jiraiya actually told him the steps that he and the fourth Hokage had to go through. And anyway, now, of course, now once the next day, Naruto hears about, well, he actually gets put into Team 7, replacing Sasuke, and Sai and Naruto become quite good friends. Sai is more social here, and instantly they hit it off and they become really good friends, and they actually spend the whole day together. Of course, Naruto, at the end of the day, he actually goes to visit Hinata, and the Hyuga family was changed as soon as both Hinata and Neji became really close. And anyways, now of course Naruto goes in, and as soon as he sees Hinata, he goes straight in for a hug, and Hinata this time doesn't faint, as she embraces Naruto as well, and she's quite bold, to be honest. In fact, she tells him that she won't let him go for, anymore, and Naruto, and of course she tightens her hold on Naruto. Naruto's quite surprised that Hinata's this strong already, and asks just how much she's been training. Hinata then explains that she's been training every single day of her life. After Naruto faked his little death, and she doesn't want anything to happen like this ever again. And if she ever had a child, even if after death, she'd protect the child with her will. And anyways, of course, Hinata started to seem a bit more aggressive, and starting to scare Naruto, because what he remembers about Hinata and Naruto didn't spend too much time, but they had feelings for each other instantly, and it was like love at first sight pretty much after reuniting. And anyways, Naruto would spend a lot more time with Hinata and actually train with her a lot more here. Anyway, of course, Naruto and Team 7 pretty much would be summoned. Naruto and Kakashi was the Anbi that was actually meant to protect Naruto, but of course, as soon as he let down his guard, Naruto did that and went off and did all of that. Of course, Naruto actually made amends with Iruka, and here I'm going to say that the Kazekage being attacked was actually like a few days after, as Naruto came back earlier. I'll say a few days earlier. And anyways, now Konohamaru and Naruto would become like brothers to each other again, as Naruto did meet Konohamaru, and Konohamaru did follow Naruto around. Just that, well, sorry, Konohamaru met Naruto earlier here, and he would follow Naruto around as he was older than him, but Naruto never really paid too much attention to him just until now, and he made the amends with Iruka, and he actually spent some time with Kakashi, as Kakashi was the fourth Hokage student. Naruto wanted to learn more about him, as the fourth Hokage was kind of his idol after all. He has been learning a lot of his techniques, like the Flying Raijin, and he did show it to Kakashi, which Kakashi actually was really happy that Naruto learned it, and he knows that Naruto is the fourth Hokage's son, and now he's continuing the lineage of the fourth Hokage. He's actually very happy about it, and they become really good friends, literally, as him, Zabuza, and Guy actually hit it off. Kakashi, Zabuza, and Guy are like best of friends now. And anyways, now Haku has Haku and Shizune actually hit off quite well, and in fact they're actually dating here. So there's going to be a lot of different ships, as although Shizune is just a few years older than Haku still likes Shizune quite a lot. And anyways, now of course, after a few days, I'll say around 10 days, Naruto does get the news about Gaara being captured, and he doesn't waste any time. He tells everyone to go to the Sand Village, but this time he actually teleports there. He never had a He never really had a seal on Gaara, but he left it in his office in case anything ever happened. Gaara, although becoming way stronger than in the original, still couldn't, well, he was close to beating Deidara. It was just a stroke of luck with Deidara actually catching Gaara off guard because of the village actually was the only reason why he beat him. It was a bit similar in the original, just that here Gaara had a way easier time, and in fact he was actually about to kill Deidara with a sand coffin, but because of the village, because of him having the needing to protect the village, it was the only thing that caught him on guard. He didn't realize that he could just attack the village. And anyways, now, of course, here Gaara gets captured, but Naruto arrives quite quick with Team 7 and Team Guy, and Sakura gets straight to healing, or straight to finding an antidote. Although Naruto just wants to leave and find Gaara, he's stopped by Kakashi, as Kakashi is his new team leader, and Naruto has respect for a strong person like Kakashi and says, alright, I'll wait, although we need to be quick. And he looks towards Sakura, and Sakura says, I'll be as fast as possible, I'm trying my best. And then Chio comes in saying, I can help you with that. And they are quite quick. And anyways, now once they find the antidote, they heal Kankuro, and then they go off to find Gaara. Here Gaara had a stronger seal, so it won't take 3 days for to have the tail beast extracted, but it will take around like 5 days. And also because of Naruto being there instantaneously, it's only been a day and a half, I'll say. And they found the Akatsuki hideout. After finding the Akatsuki hideout, not even half the tail beast has been taken in, but that was still more than enough for the eye to be mostly open. However, it wasn't really as strong, and Naruto was able to save Gaara. And then once he saved Gaara, he actually wanted to, well, of course the fights would go a bit similar to this, and well, not to the original, but something like this. As Gaara is out of the fight, Naruto takes him out with he tells Chio to take Gaara out, but Chio declines, saying that she needs to fight her own grandson, and Naruto actually takes Gaara and leaves a clone with him, whereas now he returns and we see a fight with Chio, Sai, and Sakura against Sasori, whereas him and Naruto and Kakashi are left to deal with Deidara. Anyways, Guy's team already went to find the hideout, but they were still pretty much searching. They haven't found it yet. And of course Naruto's team actually found it quite easily, as Naruto could feel chakra. He was a sensory ninja. And anyway, now of course Naruto and Kakashi easily blitzed and outsped Deidara, killed him instantly, and it was now a 5v1 against Deidara, not Deidara, Sasori, and the Chio actually asked Sasori to just return to the Sand Village. Sasori says that he would have around a year and a half ago, as he missed her, but it's too late now. He doesn't deserve this chance until, of course, Gaara comes in and says everyone deserves a second chance. I got one, so I believe you deserve one too. Although you did many bad things, I did things just as gruesome and just as ruthless as you. So I don't really have the choice, or I don't really have the right to tell you that you're not welcomed in the village anymore. So I'll give you a second chance. Just return Sasori of the Red Sand. Of course, you'll be under a lot of supervision, a lot of surveillance. But if you become a shinobi of the sand and you're trustworthy, you won't be surveilled, you won't be under surveillance as much, and you can become a normal citizen of the Sand Village and the shinobi of the sand, and you can help the future generations, the future of the shinobi world, to grow. And you can help, and you can become a puppet teacher or a puppet master, and also help my siblings too. as one of them actually is a great fan of you. And anyways, of course, Sasori took this chance as this was the only chance that he will ever have to, reunite with his grandmother. And anywho, now, of course, Chio is happy, Sasori is happy, but Sasori would still be under great surveillance. And anywho, the bond between Naruto and Gaara grew even bigger and, well, even stronger, and the sands and leaves, alliance grew even stronger. And anyways, now, of course, during this time, the other tail beasts were being captured. Although the one tails wasn't fully captured, they could do it later, but they don't really need it anymore. Although just a little bit would have been enough. A fifth of it is enough, to be honest. And they don't need it, but if they want it later, they can just capture it. As if they get the rest of the tail beasts, it will be a walk in the park to get the one tails, especially if they can capture a stronger tail beast. Yugito gets captured, and the two tails gets captured. After that, of course, Asuma's team 10 does encounter these, the Akatsuki, and here Naruto is ready for this. As soon as he feels a disturbance in, Shikamaru's chakra, that's how strong his, chakra sensing has gotten. If he leaves a certain seal on anyone that he knows, and he can feel their chakra drastically decreasing due to a fight or due to them being injured, he can actually feel it, and so he can teleport to them in case. And as he was actually just resting with Hinata, he tells Hinata that he feels a disturbance with Shikamaru's chakra and he's on a mission, and so he will be going for now. He'll return later, and Hinata says that she wants to go with him, but of course Naruto says that this might be dangerous, so he doesn't want to put her in any danger. As he says that, he actually disappears and arrives in front of, right behind Shikamaru. Of course, Naruto then asks what's going on, and he sees that Asuma is actually fighting Hidan, and anywho, of course, he lost a lot of chakra trying to actually capture both the Akatsuki members, and of course he failed as per normal. And then Naruto tells Asuma to stand back and he'll take both of them on. And as he says that, Hidan actually tries to slash Naruto, and Naruto was more than careful enough as he made some research, and thanks to Jiraiya telling him that there is some Yashinist, and there was some books he read about this religion. It was quite an unknown one, but still he learned a few things. For example, they use blood to use this jutsu that makes them immortal or makes the user's damage go to the opponent's damage, which was quite the scary jutsu for Naruto, as he realized that he's quite reckless in his fights. He gets hurt quite a bit, and if this guy, he ever meets him and fights any Yashinists, if his blood gets taken, he could actually be defeated. Naruto was very careful not to get sliced by the scythe, and so he actually decided to end the fight quite quick and literally turned his body into lightning and disappeared. And right as in a blink of an eye, of course, the Yashinist or Hidan's head was off and his scythe was taken away from him, and it was in Naruto's hands, and Naruto literally melted it into the ground with his boil release. He literally boiled it, and he actually heated it up to its boiling point and made it into molten metal wherever it was, and it was on the ground. And then Naruto actually pretty much just put water on it, or just used a little bit of water to actually, he had a little water pouch and just opened it to make the molten metal cold again, as he didn't want to get burnt. Anyway, now Naruto actually then looked at Hidan and said that this is it for him, and as he says that, he actually throws a few kunais which were actually blocked by Kakuzu, and Kakuzu actually takes Hidan's body and his head back towards him and stitches it up, and the two look at each other and they realize that this is going to be harder than expected, and Hidan actually gets 2 kunais from Kakuzu as his scythe got melted. Of course, now Shikamaru already made a plan to defeat Hidan and tells Naruto that Team 10 will take on Hidan, and he should take on Kakuzu. Of course, they take them both on. They don't go into a forest or anything. Team 10 remains near Naruto, and the two Akatsuki members can't really fight together as Naruto's not allowing Hidan to get, Kakuzu to get anywhere close or near Hidan. And anyways, now, so Kakuzu can't procure the blood that Hidan needs to lick to actually use the jutsu, and he wasn't able to use the jutsu at all as Team 10 used a massive yo-yo thing, mind control thing to actually destroy Hidan, and then Asuma actually cut him into 4 pieces thanks to his X blade. I'm not sure what the technique is, but he just cuts in an X. Oh wow, he just cuts him into pieces, and then they just bury him and make him explode underneath the ground. And anyways, now Hidan is taken care of, and they see Naruto's fight. Naruto is dominating his fight in taijutsu, ninjutsu, and even genjutsu. Naruto knows how to use a little bit of genjutsu, but it wasn't too strong as Kakuzu was easily able to break out of it. And once he used all his 5 hearts, Naruto was able to seal away the 5 hearts instead of killing them, as he knows that these hearts are not his or Kakuzu's hearts, and they were someone else's. Someone must have died, and he doesn't really want to take other people's hearts. Imagine they're just innocent people, innocent shinobi that didn't really do anything bad. Naruto seals them away forever, creating a very strong seal, and actually destroys the key to the seal. So the seal will forever be there unless a seal master creates an identical seal and an identical key to it to open it. But Naruto's seals are quite complex, and it's quite hard to copy as there is a lot of components to it. The composition of his seal is completely, utterly out of this world, as it is very random. Naruto has a massive imagination. Now, Kakuzu was the final heart to take care of, and Naruto actually, rolls up his sleeves and says, "This is it for you, mate." And as he says that, he actually throws a kunai underneath, which lands right in front of Kakuzu. And Kakuzu thought, "You even missed that, didn't you?" And Naruto appeared right in front of him with a Rasen Shuriken, which then he actually threw into Kakuzu, and Kakuzu went flying into the air, and then a massive explosion happened. Of course, the Rasen Shuriken actually disappeared too, and it was a red Rasen Shuriken with the steam from it, and Naruto wasn't holding back. Naruto was trying everything out. He was using a lava style Rasen Shuriken, a vanishing Rasen Shuriken, a lava style vanishing Rasen Shuriken with boil release added to it, so a boiling lava style vanishing Rasen Shuriken, which he actually threw at Kakuzu, and Kakuzu went flying into the air and pretty much exploded. Nothing of Kakuzu was remained. Unfortunately, Naruto can't take the body back to the village for research, and that was kind of stupid of him for going so all out, but it is what it is. And Team 10 did apprehend him for it, or did kind of shout at him for it, but Naruto can't really say anything to Naruto, as Naruto kind of did save them. 2 Akatsuki members were taken care of, but 5-tailed beasts, 6-tailed beasts were already taken care of too. So there was only the 7, 8, and 9 tails left to go. Anywho, after this, Naruto teleports Team 10 back as they need treatment and healing, as they suffered a few injuries. Even Naruto himself suffered a few minor injuries here and there, so he just needed a bandage or so, and he went back to Hinata. During this time, Sasuke actually kills Orochimaru, and there is no meeting with Orochimaru here, as here I'm going to say that Sasuke never really meets with or has this little spy in Orochimaru's hideout. Sasuke kills Orochimaru and goes to Itachi, and Itachi and Sasuke goes exactly the same after all, and Sasuke still joins the Akatsuki. Unfortunately, it was a bit harder for Itachi to fight Sasuke, and then now Naruto never really knew that Itachi was a good person, but he knew he was a very strong person, and that's it. Itachi still died pretty much with a smile in his face and apologizing to Sasuke. And then now Sasuke would still go off after finding out that Danzo was responsible behind everything. He would still go to capture Killer Bee, and here Killer Bee would have a much harder time. In fact, it was a extremely close to being captured, but just a little bit of a letdown of in guard of Sasuke was what Killer Bee needed to escape, and he escaped by a little bit, just a strand of hair. All Sasuke needed to do is use his wood binding with a wood dragon jutsu, which would seal all, which would pretty much apprehend Killer Bee, but he let down his guard just a little bit. He got a bit cocky because of the Susanoo, and he wasn't using wood release, which was more than enough for Killer Bee to escape, just like in the original. Just a little bit more power used by Sasuke and a little bit less cockiness would have captured, got himself a nice 8 tails, a nice octopus. And anyway, now, of course, Killer Bee escaped, and a 5 Kage summit would be wanted, but by this time, of course, Pain would still attack the village, as here Naruto didn't allow Jiraiya to leave the village and told him to just stay, and they can formulate a plan for them to infiltrate the Rain village. As they were doing this, Pain had enough, and he was already heading to the Leaf village anyway, and he arrived, and as soon as he got in, they were all pushed away. And anyway, now, of course, on Spain, Naruto and Jiraiya were injured just a little bit, but most people in the village weren't expecting it, and a lot of them died. And unfortunately, this pissed off Naruto, and Naruto wasn't going to have mercy on Pain. Jiraiya was about to attack Pain as well, but Naruto said, "Stand back, I've got this." And anyway, Naruto went off to fight Pain on his own, and he single-handedly put Pain down. He literally destroyed all his paths, and even the last one, the Tendo Pain, really stood no chance against Naruto. Well, this Naruto, as he's way too overpowered. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto uses a Vanishing Rasengan to actually catch Pain off guard, as he hasn't used it the whole entire battle, and Pain was completely caught off guard, and he was pretty much destroyed. Naruto then actually went with Jiraiya to Nagato and did Takano Jutsu him, and Nagato revived everyone in the village, all the people that died. And anyway, after all of this, Conan still decided to go on her own, as she didn't see why she should remain with them. And anyways, now, of course, at this time, Sasuke actually went off to fight Killer Bee, and as I said before, Bee did escape. And anywho, now, of course, after all of this, the 5 Kage summit was still took place, and Sasuke did attack it, and the events here are a bit similar to the original up until the War Arc, as of course Naruto actually already pretty much using the Naruto's chakra here and there. Of course, still has that little bit of a connection with Kurama, and so he actually just let him out and said, "Listen, even after the fight, I won't be putting you back in the cage. I don't see a reason why." And Naruto here, once he was actually fighting Kurama, after finishing fighting Kurama, he did see the 2 spirits of his parents, and he found out the whole entire truth, and he hugged them goodbye. And he was a bit pissed off that Mina to put the Naruto's in him, but he could understand why. He believes that he's the child of prophecy too. And anyways, now, after this, Naruto goes into the war, and the War Arc up until the main war, where all the shinobi go up against Obito and Madara, goes pretty much the same until that point, because Naruto here already has some of the chakra natures from, he has Boil Release and Lava Release. And remember, Boil Release is a kind of like an 8 gates boost, as we saw it in the anime. He blitzed Kaguya, and Kaguya is no slouch. She could have reacted, but clearly Naruto caught her off guard and blitzed her, and even cut off her arm. After all of this, Naruto used the Boil Release to actually fight Madara and Obito, especially Obito, as he became the Tento's Jinchuriki as in the original. And anywho, Naruto and Sasuke would team up, and Sasuke's Susanoo, instead of having a normal Susanoo sword, he had a wood release sword, a wooden sword, which the Susanoo engulfed,
and so that sword would actually absorb chakra as well. And every time he actually cut off one of the truth-seeking orbs from Obito, he would absorb some six-pack Sage Mode chakra, but Naruto would absorb some of it too. Half would go to Sasuke and half to Naruto, as Naruto wasn't absorbing it on purpose, but Sasuke realized that Naruto was doing it without even noticing, and he couldn't really stop it, as Naruto wasn't doing it voluntarily. It was just natural that it was going to him, and so he just allowed it, although he was a bit pissed. He's like, yo, I'm doing this, why is he getting the chakra? Like, well, go on. And anyway, of course, in the end, Naruto and Sasuke were able to defeat well, Naruto and Sasuke actually had that little bond, and they were able to defeat Obito together, and of course the Rookie Nine still being there. This time, there was actually Sai there. Sai actually using his ink release, or his Super Beast Scroll, to help them out here and there. And anyways, after all of this, Madara still became the Tento's Jinchuriki and killed both Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke this time met Hagoromo in the same place, in the same mindscape, and the two actually had a little time to bond since the reincarnations of Indra and Ashura. And anyways, now, of course, they realized how similar they are, and they got even closer. And once they actually came back with the 6-star Sage Mode powers, of course, Sasuke having the Rinnegan, and just saying, Sasuke would have unlocked the Rinnegan in a few years anyway because of his wood release abilities and EMS. But Naruto came out even stronger here, as although the Sage of 6 Paths would give all of his all of his eye prowess to Sasuke in the original. Here he didn't have to, as Sasuke was already unlocking the Rinnegan over time, and so he only gave him a little bit of chakra just to unlock the Rinne Sharingan and just to unlock the Rinnegan quicker. And the rest of it went to Naruto, and some of the eye prowess actually went to Naruto as well, and his left eye actually turned into a Rinnegan. But his one was a different type of Rinnegan, and he could turn it off and on like a Sharingan. Of course, the Rinne Sharingan, he only had 3 Tomoe on it, not 6 like Sasuke. So I will say, actually, you know what? Let me retcon that instantly. Naruto has the Rinne Sharingan as well. But anyway, here they won't be fighting, as they weren't really rivals with each other. Although Sasuke always knew Naruto was strong, he never was jealous of Naruto. He was just a little bit confused about Naruto's life. And anyways, now that he got closer to Naruto, he treats him as a brother. And anyway, Naruto and Sasuke were able to defeat Madara, but Zetsu still betrayed Madara, and in the end revived Kaguya. And here, Naruto and Sasuke weren't going to seal her. They were going to kill Kaguya, as they knew that they could kill Kaguya because they were that strong, and Sasuke helped out quite a bit, especially because this time he wasn't actually caught off guard and sent into a different dimension. In fact, he stayed in the same dimension, and this prevented Obito from dying, as they were much stronger, first of all, and they were more alert. So once they got into the gravitational dimension, Naruto and Sasuke didn't get caught off guard, and they actually were able to keep standing. And once Kaguya tried to kill them both, they were actually able to, Sasuke actually teleported away, and so did Naruto. Since Naruto never really had a Sharingan, the abilities that he would have would be a bit unique. He could copy abilities that Rinne Sharingan users have. The second ability that the Rinne Sharingan gives, for example, Sasuke's switching with switching places with stuff, Naruto would copy it instantly and switch himself with, I'd say, Sasuke's, I'll say with a clone of himself. I'm going to say that Naruto left a clone with the Sakura, Obito, and Kakashi, just in case something happened, and he switched himself with it, and the clone got destroyed, like it got destroyed in the original. So many clones got destroyed in the actual fight. And anyways, now, of course, Naruto would still heal both Obito's eyes and Kakashi's, and in the end, Naruto would indirectly give Obito some Sage of 6 Path powers, and together, and of course Obito having some remaining, I'm going to go with the theory that Obito had some of the 6 Path Sage Mode chakra remaining from the Tento's extraction, and so he has the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan somehow. Not the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but the Perfect Susanoo. But the only way that they could do it is with Kakashi actually being inside it too, as there were 3 pairs of pretty much the same eye. Well, there were 2 of the same eye, as since Naruto healed Obito's other one, and one extra one, which Obito actually pulled out himself and told Naruto to heal him instantly. And Naruto was like, "What are you doing?" And he didn't catch on yet, but then he realized after healing Obito's eye that now there's another eye to give to, of course, Kakashi. And Sakura was in the Susanoo actually healing Kakashi's eye, and Kakashi both Kakashi and Obito would have the dual Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto would actually make sure to change Kakashi's eye genetics. Don't ask how. It's called plot convenience. And he's just going to be overpowered because I want him to be overpowered. And you cannot do anything about it, as you're not here with me to punch me in the face and tell me to shut the fuck up. And anyways, now, of course, this would go on for this fight would be a lost cause for Kaguya, and Kaguya would get killed by Naruto in the end, as Naruto used all the Tail Beast chakra in one Rasengan, and he created a massive Rasen Shuriken, which then exploded and killed Kaguya. And Naruto found a seal, a Karma seal, on his hand. He didn't understand what it was, but thanks to his universal understanding, he was just able to use the rift or open up a portal to return to the real world, as Kaguya's dimension was actually crumbling, and well, the dimension they were in, at least that one was crumbling. The rest wouldn't be crumbling, as don't ask why. It's just like in the original, how the original how the one that they were in will start to break down or rip apart. Anyways, of course, once they return, they see Hagoromo, and Hagoromo would have thanked them for taking care of his mother, and in fact even killing her. And you can see that Naruto has a Karma seal, and he tells him about a little bit of the Karma seal of what he's learned about the Otsutsuki, and the rest will have to find out, as he doesn't know much about it. But he tells him that he needs to be careful, as Kaguya is inside that, and she might try to take over his body, as it's quite strong, and so he needs to be able to dominate her. That sounded mad, as in dominate her mentally, and be able to subdue her. That sounded mad again, but subdue her mentally, and make her like Kurama, someone like Kurama, or something like Kurama, as Naruto is friends with them, or try befriend Kaguya so they can work together from now on. And anyway, now, of course, Naruto thanks Hagoromo for this new power and this new knowledge, and Sasuke and Naruto would never fight here, and in fact they would actually use I think it was the right hand seal, and they would release the infinite Tsukiyomi, and together they would actually, Sasuke would still go on his mission, and Naruto and Sai would actually say goodbye to him. Same as Sakura. Sakura actually wanted to go with him, but of course that doesn't happen. And Naruto spends the rest of his time with Hinata, as here Hinata and Naruto actually were already going out together. And anyways, now, the things with Tonari still happens, and Naruto pretty much slaps Tonari, and Tonari still gives the Jogan to Boruto when he's born. And anyways, that's where I'm going to end it off. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay care, stay safe. This was the King of Weebs. I really enjoyed recording these 3 parts within pretty much a day, but this part actually stopped midway. That's why I actually repeated the last bit, as I'm pretty sure my recording actually just cut off there, as I kind of fell asleep and somehow stopped the recording. I'm not sure, but I fell asleep yesterday or this morning at 2 a.m, 2:30 a.m, or 3 a.m. or 3 a.m. But anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe. This was the King of Weebs. My ducklings, yours dismissed, and peace.